My name Gina Coleman, and today at 30, I was supposed to have the happiest day of my life, my wedding day. Instead, I found something gut-wrenching on Instagram. A photo of my entire family at a surprise party for my sister, posted just hours ago, right when I was walking down the aisle in Tucson. The caption, "Celebrating the one who truly shines." My hands shook as I typed, "Nice party." My mom's reply hit like a slap. "She's the one worth celebrating." I stared at my phone, standing alone in my wedding dress. My family nowhere in sight, not one of them at my ceremony. I refreshed the page, hoping it was a mistake. It wasn't. More photos loaded my parents' relatives, even distant cousins, all toasting her at a lavish party they hid from me. They used money I sent, thinking it was for my wedding gift. My stomach churned as I saw the champagne flutes, the custom decorations, things I'd dreamed of for my own day. I forced a smile, typed, "Hope it was worth it," and set my phone down, my heart pounding. This wasn't just them missing my big day. It was a deliberate choice to erase me from theirs. Let me know where you're watching from. If you've ever felt invisible to your own family, hit that like button and subscribe. Trust me, this story gets wilder, and I'll show you how I took back my power. As I stood there in my wedding dress, the silence from my family hit harder than any words could. My husband Nathan Brooks noticed my face and asked what was wrong, but I brushed it off, saying it was just nerves. The ceremony went on without them. No parents, no siblings, no relatives in the seats reserved for family at the Tucson resort. Nathan's side filled the room, cheering us on, while mine stayed empty. After the vows, I checked my phone again during the reception. Still no messages, no apologies. Instead, more Instagram updates flooded in from cousins showing the party in full swing at my parents' house in the desert outskirts. Balloons in her favorite colors, a catered spread that must have cost a fortune, gifts stacked high. And there I was, celebrating my marriage alone with Nathan's friends and a few colleagues. This wasn't new. My role in the family had always been the fixer, the one who picked up the pieces without complaint. For years I had been sending money to cover my sister's expenses, starting with her business classes that she never finished. She claimed she needed the courses to launch her own venture, but after a few months, she dropped out, saying it was too demanding. I transferred the tuition anyway, straight to the school account to make sure it got paid. Mom called it being supportive, but never mentioned how I was the one footing the bill while working long hours as a software engineer in Tucson. Dad would nod along, praising her for trying, even as her so-called business ideas fizzled out one after another. Felix, my younger brother, relied on me too. At 22, he was still figuring things out, bouncing between part-time jobs. When his car broke down last year, I covered the repairs without a second thought, setting up payments directly with the mechanic because he admitted he might forget. Mom and Dad knew about it but treated it like my duty, saying I was the stable one who could handle these things. Meanwhile, they showered attention on my sister, organizing family trips around her schedule, even if it meant ignoring mine. Like last month when I asked everyone to confirm for the wedding rehearsal, Mom said they were busy helping her with a big opportunity. Turns out that opportunity was the fake business deal they were celebrating today. I scrolled through the photos again, my bouquet still in hand. There was Mom beaming as she handed my sister a wrapped box that looked like high-end jewelry. Dad with his arm around her, toasting to her success. Even Felix was there, laughing in the background, though he had texted me yesterday, saying he couldn't make the drive for my wedding because of work. Work that I helped him keep by lending him gas money last week. The unfairness burned. I had planned this wedding for months, coordinating everything myself while Nathan handled his side. I even sent money home, assuming it was for travel costs to attend. But no, they used it for her party, her moment, her lies. Nathan pulled me aside during our first dance, sensing something off. "Your family didn't show. What's going on?" I showed him the posts, and his face hardened. "This is messed up, Gina. You've been carrying them for too long." He was right. My sister's business was a joke. She had been pretending to have clients for months, emailing me for emergency funds to cover rent on her apartment. I set up automatic transfers to her landlord after she fell behind twice, never telling the family because she begged me not to. "Don't make Mom worry," she'd say. But at family dinners, she'd brag about her thriving startup, while I sat quietly, knowing the truth. Last week, I overheard Mom on the phone with her promising to make everything special for her latest milestone. I thought it was about my wedding, maybe a surprise toast. Instead, it was this. Felix called once during the planning asking if I could spot him for a suit rental. I did, but he wore it to her party, not my ceremony. Dad emailed about contributing to family plans, and I wired $500 figuring it was for hotel stays. Wrong again. Nathan had warned me months ago. You're enabling them. They take, because you give. But I kept giving, hoping one day they'd see me. As the reception wound down, my phone buzzed with a text from Sylvia, my cousin. "Sorry about missing the wedding party, was epic." Attached was a video of everyone singing to my sister. No mention of my day, my vows, my new life, with Nathan. The double standard stung. Whenever I needed something like help with wedding favors, Mom said she was too tired from supporting the family. But for her, they pulled out all the stops. Nathan hugged me tight. "We don't need them. This is our day." But deep down, the betrayal festered. I had been the bank, the backup, the invisible one. And today, on my wedding day, they made it clear where I stood. I slipped away to the resort balcony, Nathan following. The desert air was warm, but I felt cold inside. "I can't keep doing this," I whispered. He nodded. "Then don't." That's when I decided to dig deeper. I logged into my bank app, checking the transfers. Over the past year alone, thousands gone to her rent, her classes, her business supplies. Money that could have gone to our honeymoon or a down payment on a house. And Felix's car, his incidentals, another chunk. Mom and Dad knew bits, but never stepped in, always defending her as creative, and me as practical. Sylvia texted again. "Your sister nailed that deal, proud family." But I knew the truth. Last month, her partner emailed me by mistake, revealing the contract was bogus, just a scheme to impress everyone. She had been unemployed, living off my support while I worked overtime. Nathan read over my shoulder. "This ends now." He was right. The family dynamic had poisoned everything, even my wedding. As guests left, I sat with him planning my next move. No more silence. No more crumbs. Martin, my uncle, posted another photo, the whole group around a cake with her name iced on top. "To our star." The timestamp matched our ceremony start. They chose her over me deliberately. Nathan held my hand. "You've given enough." I nodded, resolve building. This wasn't jealousy, it was survival. I had married the man who saw me, but my family never did. Time to change that. To make it worse, Felix sent a group text later that night, including me by accident. "Valerie's party was amazing. Thanks for the suit, Gina." Valerie, my sister, always the center. He didn't even ask how my day went. Mom followed up with a voice note. "We missed you, but your sister needed this boost." Missed me. They didn't miss me. They chose not to come. Dad chimed in the chat. "Proud of Valerie's big win. Gina, call when you can." As if my wedding was an afterthought. Nathan and I drove home from the resort, the weight pressing on me. "They use you," he said. I knew it. The transfers added up to over $15,000 in 2 years for Valerie alone, rent supplements when she lost a client, utility payments when her power got cut off, even groceries when she claimed times were tight. Felix got his share too, but Valerie took the lion's portion, all while playing the victim. At our last family call, she complained about stress, and Mom suggested I help out more. I did quietly while planning my wedding solo. The imbalance showed in every interaction. When Nathan and I announced our engagement, Mom said, That's nice, but Valerie's dealing with a rough patch. Dad added. She's sensitive, you're strong, Gina. Strong meant invisible. They planned her party with excitement, inviting everyone, but for my wedding excuses piled up too far, too busy, too much for Valerie's schedule. Sylvia confided once that Mom said I didn't need the fuss because I had Nathan. As if that excused abandoning me. By the time we got home, anger boiled over. Nathan brewed coffee and we talked it out. You've been their safety net. Cut the cord. I pulled up emails from Valerie's business account. She had forwarded me bills by mistake, showing she spent my money on trips and clothes, not essentials. The landlord had called me last month about late rent. I paid it, but now I saw the pattern. Felix's texts begged for just this once help, but it was never once. The family worshipped Valerie, ignoring her failures. Her deal was fake, but they celebrated anyway. Me, I built a career, found love, and they skipped my wedding for her lie. Nathan kissed my forehead. You're done. Yes, I was. The next steps formed in my mind. Cancel transfers, expose the truth. No more playing the responsible one. This wedding day marked the end. The music from our reception pulsed through the Tucson resort, but I felt detached, like I was watching someone else's wedding. Nathan Brooks, my husband, kept his hand on mine, grounding me, but my mind was stuck on Sylvia's video of the party at my parents' house in the desert outskirts, the one they threw for Valerie while my own family didn't bother to show up for my vows. I excused myself from the dance floor, saying I needed air, and slipped into a quiet corner of the venue. Nathan followed, his eyes searching mine. Gina, talk to me, he said. I handed him my phone, open to Instagram. He scrolled through the posts, his jaw tightening with every swipe. The first photo showed Mom holding a glittering banner that read, "To Valerie's big win." Dad stood beside her, raising a glass, his smile wide, like he hadn't missed my wedding an hour ago. Felix was in the background, snapping selfies with cousins I hadn't seen in years. Sylvia's caption gushed, "Family is everything, cheers to our star." The timestamp was 6:47 p.m., right when I walked down the aisle. I scrolled further. Martin, my uncle, posted a 3-tiered cake with Valerie's name in elegant gold icing. Celebrating the best daughter, it read. My stomach twisted. Best daughter. On my wedding day. I typed under Sylvia's post, "Looks fun." Neutral, safe, but my fingers trembled. Within minutes, Mom replied, "Valerie's the one worth celebrating." The words burned, each one a confirmation of where I stood in her eyes, nowhere. I refreshed, hoping for a follow-up, maybe an apology. Instead, Valerie commented, "Sorry sis, guess I'm just the favorite. Don't be jealous." She added a winking emoji as if her words weren't a blade. My breath caught. Nathan read it over my shoulder and muttered, "That's low, even for her." I nodded, unable to speak, the hurt mixing with a rising anger. I clicked through more photos. The party was lavish, custom floral arrangements, a live band, a table overflowing with gifts. I recognized a jewelry box from a high-end Tucson store, the kind Mom called too extravagant when I mentioned wanting a necklace for the wedding. Dad handed Valerie what looked like a designer handbag, her face lit up with fake surprise. Felix held a new phone, probably another gift from my parents, while I'd been sending him money for basics. The final photo showed the whole family: Mom, Dad, Felix, Sylvia, Martin, even distant relatives from Phoenix clinking champagne glasses. To Valerie's future, the caption read, "Not one of them had texted me about my day." Nathan squeezed my shoulder. "They used your money for this, didn't they?" I nodded, my throat tight. A month ago, Dad called asking for a family contribution for something special. I sent $700, assuming it was for plane tickets or a wedding gift. Wrong. They funneled it into this party for Valerie's fake business deal, the one her partner accidentally exposed in an email to me. She hadn't signed any contract, she'd been stringing everyone along, including me, while I paid her rent and bills. Nathan's voice was steady but firm. "This isn't just neglect, Gina. This is betrayal." I stepped outside, the desert heat hitting me as I tried to process. My family hadn't just skipped my wedding, they'd planned a rival celebration knowing it would clash. I checked my email hoping for some explanation, but found only a confirmation from Valerie's landlord about last month's payment, which I'd covered to avoid her eviction. Then I saw an email from her business account forwarded by mistake. It was a rejection from a potential investor stating her pitch was unconvincing and her financials disorganized. Dated 3 weeks ago. She'd been lying about her success, and my parents bought it, throwing her a party while I stood alone in my white dress. Back inside, the reception was winding down. Nathan's mom hugged me, saying how beautiful I looked, but it only deepened the ache. My own family didn't care enough to show up. I opened Instagram again, unable to stop myself. Sylvia had posted a new story, a video of Valerie giving a speech thanking everyone for supporting her dream. Mom clapped, loudest tears in her eyes. Dad called out, "That's our girl." Felix cheered, holding up a drink. I felt invisible, like my wedding. My love, my life didn't matter. I typed another comment under the video. "Hope you're proud." It was vague, but it carried my pain. Sylvia responded first. "Wish you could have been here," as if I'd been invited. Martin chimed in. "Valerie's killing it. No one mentioned my wedding, my absence, my existence." Then Valerie replied to my comment. "Don't hate, sis. Maybe one day you'll have something worth celebrating." The casual cruelty stole my breath. Nathan saw it and shook his head. "She's always been like this, hasn't she?" Yes, she had. For years I'd covered her mistakes, paid her debt, stayed quiet while she took the spotlight. And Mom and Dad enabled it, always choosing her over me. I showed Nathan the investor email. "She's been lying to everyone, and they're celebrating a fraud." He nodded. "You've been propping her up and they don't even see it." He was right. I'd sent thousands, $15,000 over 2 years for her rent, her classes, her emergencies. Money that could have gone to our new life, our future. Felix, too, I'd covered his car repairs, his phone bill, his temporary loans. Mom called it family duty but never thanked me. Dad would say Valerie needs the encouragement. "You're fine, Gina. Fine." That word had defined me for too long. The band played our song, but I couldn't dance. I sat at a table staring at the posts. Nathan pulled up a chair. "What do you want to do?" I didn't know yet, but something was shifting. I'd spent years swallowing the hurt, making excuses for their neglect. But this missing my wedding for her fake victory was the final straw. I opened my bank app, checking the latest transfer to Valerie's landlord, $800 set to go out tomorrow. I hovered over the cancel button. Nathan watched me. "You don't owe them anything." I nodded, my finger trembling. I hit cancel. The payment stopped and a weight lifted, but I knew this was just the start. Sylvia texted, "You okay? Saw your comments." I didn't reply. Instead, I pulled up my email, starting a draft to Mom, Dad, and Valerie. I wasn't ready to send it yet, but the words were forming, every truth I'd buried, every dollar I'd sent, every time they'd chosen her over me. Nathan kissed my forehead. "Whatever you do, I'm with you." His support gave me strength. This wasn't about jealousy or pettiness. It was about survival, about reclaiming my worth on the day that was supposed to be mine. I scrolled through the Instagram posts one last time, each image a fresh cut. A photo of Felix holding a new watch, grinning like he hadn't bailed on my wedding. Another of Mom presenting Valerie with a framed certificate, probably some meaningless award she'd bought herself. The hypocrisy was staggering. I'd spent months planning this wedding, picking every detail from the flowers to the menu, while Mom claimed she was too busy to help. Dad said he'd try to make it, but never confirmed. Felix promised to be my ring bearer, then texted last minute about a work conflict. All lies to cover their real plan, her party. Nathan's sister approached, asking if I was okay. I forced a smile, not wanting to ruin the night for Nathan's family. They'd shown up, celebrated us, filled the room with love. My family, they'd chosen a lie over me. I checked my phone again. A new post from Martin showed the party in full swing with a DJ spinning tracks and a custom cocktail named Valerie's Victory. The cost of that alone could have covered my wedding cake. I'd sent money for what I thought was family travel, $700 gone to her celebration instead. I thought back to the emails Valerie had sent begging for just one more payment to keep her apartment. I'd set up direct transfers to her landlord after she missed rent twice, not trusting her to handle it. She thanked me once, then went right back to bragging about her business at family dinners. Mom would beam saying, "She's going places." Dad would nod, adding, "You're the practical one, Gina. She's the dreamer." Dreamer. She was a liar and I'd been funding her facade. Nathan pulled me close. "You can't let this ruin our day." He was right. But the hurt was too raw. I looked at my ring sparkling under the resort lights, a symbol of the life I was building with him. My family didn't see that life, they saw only her. I opened the email from the investor again, rereading the line about her disorganized financials. She'd been unemployed for months, living off my money while spinning tales of success. And my parents threw her a party using my contribution while I walked down the aisle alone. I typed another comment under Sylvia's latest post, "Glad you're all having fun." It was sharp-laced with bitterness I couldn't hide. Sylvia replied instantly, "Come on, Gina, don't be like that. Don't be like that." They'd abandoned me on my wedding day and I was supposed to smile. Martin added, "Valerie deserves this. Be happy for her." Be happy I was furious. Nathan read the exchange and shook his head. They're clueless. The reception ended, guests filtering out. Nathan's parents hugged us, promising to visit soon. My side of the guest list empty. I sat with Nathan in the now quiet venue, my phone still buzzing with notifications from the party. Felix posted a story panning across the crowd, everyone laughing, dancing, celebrating her. Mom sent a group text, "Valerie's shining tonight. Gina, we'll catch up soon." Catch up? They didn't even acknowledge my marriage. Dad added, "Great night for the family. Call tomorrow." As if I was an afterthought. I turned to Nathan. "I'm done being their doormat." He nodded, his eyes fierce. "Then show them who you are." I opened my bank app again, staring at the canceled transfer. That was just the beginning. I started drafting the email again, listing every payment I'd made: rent, utilities, Felix's car, Valerie's lies. I attached the investor email, proof of her deception. This wasn't just about today. It was about years of being invisible, of giving everything and getting nothing. Nathan watched me, type his hand on my back. "You're doing the right thing." As we left the resort, I felt a shift. The hurt was still there, but so was resolve. My wedding day was supposed to be about love, about me and Nathan. My family stole that, but they wouldn't steal my future. I hit save on the email draft, not ready to send, but knowing I would soon. This was my line in the sand. They'd see me not as the fixer, but as someone who finally said no. Nathan and I drove back from the Tucson resort, the glow of our wedding tainted by the sting of my family's absence. My phone buzzed relentlessly, more Instagram notifications from Sylvia's posts, family members gushing over Valerie's triumph. I silenced it, gripping Nathan's hand as we pulled into our apartment complex. The email draft I'd started sat heavy in my mind, words I hadn't yet sent, but knew I would. Inside, we changed out of our wedding clothes, the weight of the day settling like dust. Nathan brewed coffee, his steady presence keeping me grounded. "You're not alone in this," he said. I nodded, opening my laptop to finish what I'd begun. I finalized the email to Mom, Dad, and Valerie, attaching the investor's rejection letter and bank statements showing every payment I'd made: $15,000 for Valerie's rent, utilities, and fake business ventures, plus thousands more for Felix's car and loans. The subject line was simple: the truth. I wrote, "For years I've supported this family financially and emotionally, without a word of thanks. I paid for Valerie's rent, her classes, her lies about a business that doesn't exist. You celebrated her fraud on my wedding day, using money I sent for my own moment. I'm done. I've canceled all payments to Valerie's landlord effective immediately. I'm stepping away to focus on my life. Respect my decision. Gina. I attached screenshots of Instagram posts, the cake, the banner, their smiling faces. My finger hovered over send. Nathan looked at me. Do it. I clicked. The email flew into the ether and my heart raced. Within minutes, my phone lit up. Felix called first. I let it go to voicemail. His message was frantic. Gina, what's this email? You can't just cut Valerie off. Call me, I didn't. Mom's text came next. This is unacceptable, Gina. You're ruining your sister's life over a misunderstanding. Answer your phone. Dad followed. We need to talk. This is too far. I ignored them, but the group chat exploded. Sylvia wrote, Gina, this is harsh. Valerie's upset. Martin added, family doesn't do this. Valerie herself sent a private message. You're trying to destroy me because you're jealous. Fix this now, or you're dead to me. Her words didn't surprise me, but they still stung. Nathan read it and scoffed. She's panicking because her free ride's over. I checked my bank app. The $800 transfer to Valerie's landlord canceled last night was officially voided. Her landlord, Mr. Carter, had emailed me earlier confirming the account was now in arrears. I replied, I'm no longer covering Valerie's rent. Please contact her directly. Nathan nodded approvingly. Good. She needs to face reality. I felt lighter, but the storm was coming. I knew my family wouldn't let this go quietly. The next morning, as Nathan and I packed up wedding gifts, my doorbell rang. I peeked through the peephole. Mom, Dad, and Valerie stood outside, faces tense. Felix wasn't there, probably too embarrassed after my email. I hesitated, then opened the door, blocking the entrance. What do you want? I asked, my voice steady. Valerie pushed forward, eyes red. You're trying to make me homeless? The landlord called about the rent. Fix it. Gina, Mom stepped in, her voice sharp. This is low even for you. Sending that email to everyone, humiliating your sister on her big day. Her big day. The irony hit hard. This was my wedding day. I said, my tone cold. You didn't show up. None of you did. You threw a party for Valerie's fake deal instead. Dad raised his hands, always the peacemaker. Gina, let's talk inside. We can sort this out. I stepped aside, not because I wanted to, but because I needed them to hear me. They filed in, Valerie flopping dramatically onto my couch, Mom perched on an armchair, Dad standing awkwardly by the window. Nathan stayed close, his presence a quiet strength. Mom spoke first. You're overreacting. Valerie needed that party for her confidence. Her business is taking off. I laughed, sharp and bitter. Her business? It's a lie. I showed you the email. She's been unemployed, living off my money. Valerie glared. You had no right to dig into my emails. That was private. I pulled up the investor's rejection on my phone. Private. You sent it to me by mistake. Your big win doesn't exist. Mom waved it off. She's trying, Gina. You're successful? You don't need the attention. Nathan cut in. Attention? Gina planned her wedding alone while you ignored her. She sent you money thinking it was for her day, and you spent it on Valerie. Dad looked uncomfortable. We didn't know it was your money, Gina. We thought it was for family. It was for my wedding, I snapped. You chose her over me on the day I needed you most. Valerie rolled her eyes. You're so dramatic. I needed support. You have Nathan, a job, a perfect life. What do I have? You had $15,000 of my money, I said, my voice rising. Rent, utilities, classes you never finished. I paid for Felix's car, his bills. And you all acted like it was my job. Mom shook her head. You're exaggerating. Valerie's trying to build something. You're stable, you can afford to help. Nathan stepped forward. She's done helping. You've taken enough. Valerie turned to him. Stay out of this, Nathan. This is family. I'm her family. He shot back. Where were you yesterday? Dad tried again. Gina, we're sorry we missed the wedding. Things got hectic. Let's fix this, reinstate the payments, and we'll make it up to you. Make it up to me. The same empty promise I'd heard for years. No, I said, my voice firm. I'm done. I'm not your bank anymore. Valerie's face crumpled, but I saw the calculation in her eyes. You're really going to let me lose my apartment? What kind of sister are you? The kind who's tired of your lies, I said. You've been scamming everyone, and I've been cleaning up your mess. Not anymore. Mom stood furious. This is about jealousy, Gina. You've always resented Valerie's light. You're punishing her for shining. Shining. The word made me sick. Her light. She's been unemployed for months, Mom. I paid her way while you threw her a party with my money. Dad looked at Valerie. Is that true? She hesitated, then snapped. It's complicated. The deal fell through, but I'm working on others. I held up my phone, showing the investor email. It was never real. You lied to everyone. Mom dismissed it. She's sensitive. You're strong, Gina. You don't need us like she does. That line again, strong. Code for invisible. Nathan spoke up. Gina's moving on. Literally. We're relocating to San Diego next month. New job. New start. My family froze. Mom's eyes widened. San Diego. You can't just leave us. Watch me, I said. I've been your safety net for too long. I'm building my life with Nathan now. Valerie scoffed. Running away because you can't handle my success. Pathetic? Success. The delusion was unreal. Dad tried one last time. Gina, let's find a compromise. Help Valerie through this month and we'll plan a family dinner to celebrate your wedding. A dinner. Crumbs as always. No compromise, I said. I'm done enabling her. She needs to figure it out. Mom grabbed her purse. If you do this, don't expect to be part of this family. The threat should have hurt, but it didn't. You made that choice when you skipped my wedding, I replied. Valerie stood, tears streaming, but her voice was venom. You'll regret this, Gina. I'll tell everyone you're a selfish traitor. I met her gaze. Tell them whatever you want. I'm telling the truth. She stormed out, Mom following. Dad lingered, looking conflicted. I didn't realize how much you were doing for us, he said quietly. You should have, I replied. He nodded, then left without another word. Nathan hugged me as the door closed. I'm proud of you. I felt raw, but resolute. The email was out, the payments were canceled, and San Diego was waiting. My family would fight back, I knew that. But for the first time, I wasn't afraid. I'd spent years carrying their weight, but now I was letting go. The fight wasn't over, but I'd drawn my line. They'd have to face the consequences without me. Nathan locked the door after my family left, the echo lingering in our quiet apartment. I sank onto the couch, adrenaline fading into exhaustion. The email was out, the transfers canceled, and San Diego loomed as our escape. But I knew the fallout would hit hard. My phone buzzed immediately, Valerie's first text. You bitch. The landlord says eviction starts in 5 days. Send the money now. I showed Nathan, who shook his head. Don't respond. Let her stew. I blocked her number temporarily, needing space. The next day, as Nathan and I sorted through wedding photos, his family beaming, mine absent, Mom called from an unknown number, probably Felix's phone. I answered on speaker. Gina, Marie Coleman. This stops now, she snapped. Valerie's in tears. You've put her housing at risk over what wedding jealousy, Nathan mouthed. Stay strong, I replied calmly. This is about years of imbalance and her lies. She's been unemployed, misusing my money. At 28, she needs to face consequences. Mom huffed. You're cruel. I raised you better. Call your father, we'll fix this. I hung up, no promises. Dad emailed with the subject, "Let's discuss rationally." Gina, I get you're upset about the party timing, but cutting Valerie off without warning is extreme. She's fragile, you know that. She needs support while finding her footing. Mom's worried sick. Please compromise. I replied briefly, Dad, this isn't about the party. It's about deception. Valerie's faked her business for months, spending my rent money on luxuries. I'm not enabling anymore. He didn't respond right away, but the silence spoke volumes. By day 3, the pressure escalated. Valerie used Sylvia's phone to text eviction notice came. Are you happy? Your own sister homeless because you're petty. I ignored it. Felix called Nathan's number pleading, Gina, please. Valerie's crashing at my place, but I can't afford to. Just this month's rent and we'll pay you back. Nathan answered firm. She's done helping. Handle it yourselves. Felix hung up frustrated. Mom resorted to leaving voicemails through our apartment line. Gina, your selfishness is breaking this family. Valerie's having panic attacks. Call immediately or face consequences. Consequences. The vagueness might have scared me before, but not now. I saved the messages but didn't reply. Day 4 brought emails from extended family. Martin wrote a long one about blood loyalty. Gina, family sticks together. Cutting off Valerie makes you the villain. Sylvia added, I saw the evidence, but this is too much. Give her time. Valerie's messages turned desperate, then nasty. From a friend's phone, I'm sorry about the comments. Okay, it was stress. Send the money one last time, we can reduce it gradually. When that failed, the tone shifted. Everyone knows you spied on my emails. You're jealous of my life. Good luck being disowned. I showed Nathan, who laughed bitterly. Her life. The one you funded, he was right. I focused on packing for San Diego, where my new job as a senior engineer started soon. Nathan, a graphic designer, had lined up freelance work there. We toured virtual apartments, planning our fresh start. Day 5 marked the real storm. Valerie's landlord emailed me a courtesy notice, outstanding balance over $600, eviction pending. I forwarded it to Valerie with a note. Your responsibility now. Mom called again, hysterical. She's packing boxes. How can you do this? I answered. How could you skip my wedding for her lie? She paused, then snapped. You always take things too seriously. Reinstate the payments and we'll forgive this. Forgive me. The audacity fueled my silence. Nathan became my anchor, cooking dinner while I muted notifications. They're manipulating you to restore the status quo, he said. We discussed boundaries over wine, how I'd limit contact, focus on us. A colleague texted congratulations on the wedding, a small kindness that meant more than my family's threats. By day 7, Valerie escalated, posting subtly on Instagram a photo of boxes with caption, When family turns on you. Comments flooded from relatives. Hang in there. Mom shared it, adding, praying for resolution. Dad tried a softer approach, calling Nathan, talk to Gina. We'll repay everything gradually. Nathan relayed it, but I shook my head. They won't change. I replied via email, no repayment needed. Just accountability. Valerie must handle her own life. The responses grew uglier. Mom texted, if you move to San Diego, don't come back. You're no daughter of mine. The words hurt, but Nathan hugged me. You're free now. Valerie's boyfriend, whom I'd met twice, messaged, you're destroying her mental health. Jealous much, I blocked him. Felix sent a lengthy email, Gina. I didn't know about the money, but please help her. She's my sister too. I replied, so am I. Start by helping her yourself. He didn't respond. The family enlisted more cousins, calling my work, forcing me to explain to reception no personal calls. I stayed firm, channeling energy into San Diego plans, apartment viewings, job prep. Nathan surprised me with a belated honeymoon idea, a weekend in San Diego to scout our new home. We deserve this, he said. As we boarded the flight, my phone buzzed one last time. Valerie, eviction's real. You win. Happy, I didn't reply. In San Diego walking the beach, Nathan held my hand. This is our future. For the first time, the weight lifted. My family's chaos faded, replaced by possibility. They'd rage on, but I was done fueling it. Back in Tucson, the harassment continued. Mom left a voicemail. You have 24 hours to reverse this, or you're cut off forever. Cut off from what, their neglect? I laughed with Nathan. Valerie posted more stories of hard times hinting at betrayal. Followers sympathized, but I knew the truth. Felix emailed, she's staying with Mom now. It's crowded. Please reconsider. No. Nathan and I finalized the move 2 weeks until San Diego. He handled logistics while I tied up work. A promotion came through, boosting my salary money that would go to us now. As boxes piled up, peace settled. The family's attempts weakened, fewer calls, more silence. Mom's last text, "You'll regret abandoning us." I didn't reply. Nathan kissed me. You're building something better. Yes, I was. The consequences were theirs to bear. 6 months later, I stood on the balcony of our new apartment in San Diego, the Pacific Ocean stretching out before me. The sun dipped low, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, a view that still took my breath away. Nathan joined me, slipping an arm around my waist. Worth the move? He asked, smiling. I nodded. Every second. San Diego was our fresh start, a city where I wasn't the family fixer, just Gina, wife, senior software engineer, and a woman finally free. My family's chaos was a distant echo drowned out by the waves and the life I was building with Nathan. The weeks after that confrontation were a storm. Mom flooded my inbox with accusations, painting me as the villain who abandoned Valerie. You've torn this family apart, one email read, followed by a string of voicemails calling me selfish. Dad sent occasional texts, softer but still pleading. Let's talk, Gina. We can work this out. I didn't reply. Valerie's Instagram posts grew, more dramatic photos of her packing boxes, captions like, "Betrayed by those closest to you." Her followers ate it up, leaving heart emojis and "stay strong" comments. Felix texted once, "Valerie's with Mom now. It's tough. Can we talk?" I left it unanswered. Their attempts to guilt me weakened over time, fading into silence. Valerie faced eviction as expected. Sylvia emailed me an update, probably hoping to stir my conscience. Valerie had moved into Mom's house, cramped and arguing daily. She'd taken a part-time job at a coffee shop, her first real work in years. She's struggling, Sylvia wrote. I didn't respond. Struggle was what she needed, consequences for her lies, for living off my money while my family celebrated her fraud. Felix found a second job too, to cover his own bills. Mom and Dad stopped asking for help, forced to deal with their golden child's reality. I felt no guilt. I'd given enough. Nathan and I settled into San Diego quickly. My promotion came with a corner office and a team I loved leading. Nathan's freelance design gigs turned into a steady contract with a local agency. We furnished our apartment with pieces we chose together, no trace of Tucson's weight. Friends from work invited us to barbecues, beach days, moments that filled the void my family left. I started therapy, meeting weekly with Dr. Larson, who helped me unpack years of being the invisible one. You didn't just set boundaries, she told me. You reclaimed your worth. That's power. Her words stuck, grounding me in a truth I'd long ignored. I checked Valerie's Instagram one last time months ago. She'd posted a selfie at her new job, captioning it, "Starting over." No apology, no mention of me. I unfollowed her. Mom, Dad, Felix, Sylvia, Martin, all of them. My phone no longer buzzed with their drama. Mom's final email arrived before the move. If you leave, you're no longer our daughter. I read it, then deleted it. Nathan saw and hugged me. Their loss, he said. He was right. I wasn't losing a family, I was shedding a burden. San Diego brought clarity. I thought about my wedding day, how my family's absence hurt, but also freed me. That email I sent exposing Valerie's lies and my contributions, $15,000 for her rent utilities fake ventures, was my breaking point. They'd thrown her a party with my money, skipped my vows, and called me jealous when I dared to speak up. But I wasn't jealous. I was done. Done being their bank, their safety net, their doormat. Cutting them off wasn't cruelty, it was survival. Dr. Larson asked me once what I'd learned. I told her I learned that family doesn't get a free pass to hurt you. Love shouldn't mean sacrificing your worth. I spent years giving everything, money, time, energy, hoping they'd see me. They didn't. So I stopped waiting and chose myself. She nodded. That's the lesson. You're not responsible for their choices. She was right. Valerie's lies, Mom's favoritism, Dad's excuses, Felix's reliance, those were their burdens, not mine. Now standing on this balcony, I felt peace. Nathan and I planned our first anniversary, a trip to Hawaii, funded by the money I no longer sent to Tucson. My career thrived, my marriage grew stronger, and I surrounded myself with people who valued me for me, not what I could give. I thought about others out there stuck in toxic family dynamics, afraid to break free. My story wasn't just mine, it was a warning, a guide. Here's what I want you to take from this. You are not obligated to fix everyone else's mess, family or not. No one gets to make you feel worthless. Setting boundaries isn't selfish, it's strength. If you're pouring everything into people who take without giving back, stop. Walk away. Choose yourself even if it means cutting ties. It's scary, but it's liberating. You deserve to be seen, valued, loved, not for what you do, but for who you are. My wedding day taught me that. I was invisible to my family, but I found my worth in saying no. Have you ever had to walk away from family to protect yourself? Share your story in the comments. I want to hear it. Your pain, your strength, your journey matters. If this resonated, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about finding your voice. Thank you for listening. You're not alone, and your story deserves to be told.